What's up, everybody? It's your boy Josh with JTM Racing. What's going on? So today we're kind of getting a late start. It is already 2 o'clock, but what we're going to be working on is we're going to be fully disassembling the subframe on the Nova. Now, I did change my plan on what I want to do with this. I realize that we got the whole subframe off of the car and we're already this far in. We might as well do it all, correct and perfect. So we're going to be removing all the steering components, all the suspension components on the subframe so we can paint it properly and getting everything looking great. But yeah, we're going to get cracking on this and start removing everything. So let's do it. All right, so this is what we're working with. If you guys haven't seen the last video on the Nova, I did already get the wheels off and the 2-inch spacers. Still don't know if my plan is to keep these wheels and run these or if I'm going to go with something different, like a little bit more old school. Willie is joining us today. He's just kicking back like usual. Fucking scumbag. But yeah, so pretty much what we're removing is all the suspension, steering components. So lower control arms, upper, brakes, spring, shocks, steering box, center link, pivot arm, our cross member, all the brake lines, the fuel line, just everything off of this subframe to where it's bare, even the motor mounts. And the easiest way to access those bolts are dropping the lower control arms. So this is going to help us. But yeah, so really what we need to do is get cracking on this. I got all the bolts and nuts already all soaked in WD-40, so they should be somewhat easy to break free. Hopefully, this is a car that's, quite old. But yeah, we'll get cranking on this thing. All right, guys, there you go. There's a bare subframe for you. So there is nothing left to take off this thing at all. It's totally bare. I did leave some of the nuts and bolts still attached to the subframe just so I don't lose where they go. It's a little bit easier doing that than bagging and tagging them all. All we have really left for this subframe is to clean it up, prep it for paint, get it primered, probably use like an etching primer, and then paint the subframe. And after that, we can attach all of our new components. So steering components, suspension components. Not too sure what I'm going with, if I'm going with like OEM stuff or if I'm gonna go aftermarket. Far as I know, there's no OEM replacement on lower control arms or upper control arms. So I'm probably going tubular. Not that that was my original idea, but this is gonna be a street build and it's gonna be, you know, pretty much a street car that's gonna haul ass. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. I just wasn't expecting to use the funds to pay for that. So, but it is what it is. I'm not complaining about it. Here's all of our old stuff. Lower control arms, uppers, spindles, brakes, steering components, sway bar, shocks. Now there is a little bit of a safer way of removing all this stuff by using a spring compressor. That's not what we did, but everyone's safe. It is what it is. We just kind of did it the ghetto backyard style way. But yeah, that's it. So what do you guys think? So that's probably going to do it for this video. It is a couple days later. I was thinking what else I could throw in this video, but there's really not much. I know this video wasn't super exciting, pretty basic, just removing everything that was on the subframe off. Subframe is ready to be prepped, then primered and painted. Then we could reassemble everything with all of our aftermarket components and make this subframe look legit. I did want to go over just a couple things before we end this video. We are going to be getting the kit car body, frame, and floor pan in the garage. Right now, I'm kind of collecting wood to build like a car stand for inside the garage. So it'll probably be like 5.5 feet tall on casters. So you can roll it around, and I'll have the body of the car on top, and then I'll have the floor pan with the frame that sits inside the fiberglass body underneath the car. So I can start tinkering with it and I can get it out of the backyard so it's not taking up so much space. And the main reason why I'm doing this is so I can get it out of the sun. The body's getting in rougher shape as time goes by, just because it's kind of sitting out here and just rotting. It is fixable. Not worried about it in that way. We will get it fixed. It's not that bad. It's not that far gone. I would like to get cranking on this thing a little bit here and there. I just have so many projects, it's like overwhelming. But really, what I want to focus on is the GL650 and the Nova. And we'll probably get the Jimmy back up and running here soon as well. We kind of disassembled a little bit of the engine on the Jimmy, trying to find out where that tick or that knocking sound is coming from. Might be coming from the valve train, so I still got to pull off one more valve cover and have to take off some of the accessories to get to that, to see if there's anything going on under the valve covers where your valves are and lifters are. If it's not that, it's probably a timing chain. So then that'll be the next thing we're tearing into to inspect the motor. I would like to just get it up and running so I can kind of drive it, to be honest with you. I miss driving that truck like a lot. But yeah, that's it for this video. So the next video will probably be us prepping the subframe, getting it ready for paint. Then I'll be getting an etching primer. We'll spray it with that first, then a normal primer, which is going to be like a filler primer, and then we'll paint this thing gloss black. It'll look totally legit. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Peace.